Good morning and welcome to the 2019 State of the University Address. I first wanted to go ahead and thank our jazz our UAB student jazz trio. We have Donovan Turner and Andrew Getman and Joshua Constantine. And yes, thank you. And these three amazing students work with Dr. Stephen Roberts, who's Associate Professor of Music here at UAB. So thank you again for your great music. On behalf of my colleagues and the UAB Faculty Senate, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2019-2020 State of the University Address, which will be delivered by President Ray Watts. My name is Rhea Harold, and I am the chair of the UAB Faculty Senate. President Ray Watts is the 7th president of UAB and has served as president since 2013. He is a native of the city of Birmingham and a proud alumni of UAB. From UAB, he earned his bachelor's degree in engineering. From there, he went on to Washington University School of Medicine and completed a neurology residency and clinical fellowship at Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts General Hospital. He worked at both the NIH as well as at Emory, and he helped create a renowned research and clinical center for Parkinson's disease and other movement disorders. He returned home to UAB in 2003, and as the chair of the Department of Neurology, and subsequently served as the president of the University of Alabama Health Systems Services Foundation, as well as senior vice president and dean of the School of Medicine. Scholar and pioneer of contemporary leadership studies, Warren Bennis once said that leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. As we celebrate the 50th birthday of UAB and all of its great accomplishments, we also charge forward with the vision of what is to come for this Blazer community. Please join me in welcoming the person who is helping us blaze ahead, President Ray Watts.
Well, thank you very much, Rhea. It's a privilege and an honor to be here to represent all the great people that make UAB the great institution that it is today. And we also honor those who have come before us. This 50th anniversary State of the Union, State of the University is especially important to us as we look back and thank those who we stand on their shoulders, but also as we look forward to a fabulous future. This past year has been the most record-breaking year in every part of our mission. And I'll talk more about those in detail. If you weren't at our 50th anniversary special concert on the Green, you missed a great time. Over 20,000 of our people were there to have a good time together and celebrate all the accomplishments and to push our Blazers to a great homecoming win on Saturday. There are so many people to thank today. I probably will leave out some. If I do, please know how much you're appreciated. I want to thank the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee and everyone campus-wide that's made this a special year for us. You saw some great photos of days gone by and current times, and you can see from our humble beginnings we've come a long way. I want to thank UAB archivist Tim Pennycuff and archival associate Jennifer Buck for helping us assemble all those great pictures, and you'll see more to come. Governor Ivey proclaimed this 2019 year as the 50th anniversary year for UAB, and she's been very supportive of us always in her role in various leadership positions. I want to thank our faculty and staff and students and our alumni and our great community supporters. We couldn't be what we are today without them. I also want to thank our Board of Trustees and our Chancellor for their unwavering support of all that we've accomplished in these past years and all that we plan to accomplish going forward. 5 decades forging new knowledge, treatments, and technology with a global impact. I want to cover a lot today, and I'll try not to speak too long, but I want to share with you the great advances that we are making. We are very fortunate to be recognized for the 2nd year in a row by the Times Higher Education as the #1 young university in the United States. Young means 50 years or less. And 10th last year, 12th this year, globally. So much to be proud of. And this is not a reputational contest. This is based on data. And you see the citations and publications, patents, etc. This is our 4th straight year of record enrollment. You can see that our student body has now eclipsed 22,000, and we had the largest freshman class ever with over 2,346 students. Their credentials also are record-breaking with an average GPA of 3.78 and an average score on the ACT of 25.6. We are particularly proud at this institution of celebrating diversity and recognizing that we are all equal and that we want to give all of our students the best possible opportunities for success. We have one of the most diverse student bodies of a research Tier 1 university in America. We also have a great population of international students, and that's intentional. Our students may have not traveled around the world and met others from different cultures and different parts of the world, but as they do and as we have, they will recognize that we're all much more alike than we are different. So we want to bring the world here. And this year we have eclipsed 1,100 international students who are all UAB Blazers. These students and visiting faculty from around the world have helped us establish collaborations that take our faculty and students to all 7 continents on the globe. Our students represent over 100 nations. You see our shared values on the right. Those are very important to us, and we don't want to just talk about them. We live them each and every day. In particular, this past year, we were very pleased to be one of only 14 universities to be recognized as a Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award, and particularly a diversity champion. You see that picture there with Dr. Paulette Dilworth and the director of the university magazine that named us one of those 14. We continue to grow in credit hour production, as you can see. And as our student body grows, so does our credit hour production, and that represents a lot of hard work by our faculty and staff. One of the reasons we're able to grow is that we continue to develop novel undergraduate majors and graduate degrees at the master's and doctoral levels. You can see over the past 2 years these new interdisciplinary majors, many of them partnerships between the College of Arts and Sciences or Engineering, School of Medicine, Health Professions, and others. A Bachelor of Science in Immunology. the only one in the southeastern U.S. A BS in genetics and genomic sciences, the foundation of the future of understanding the biology of the human being. BS in medical sociology, serving our people more effectively. A Bachelor of Science in bioinformatics. Informatics is the study of data, and today our machines can sequence a genome in a few hours for about $1,000. So it's the interpretation of the genomic information is where the real brain power comes in, and we're very pleased to have this new undergraduate major. MS in data science. Big data is all about what we are studying across many, many disciplines. And we have a new master's in engineering management to meet the needs of our working engineering community. Last spring, we had the first graduate of our Doctor of Optometry and MBA program, first in the nation. And we're developing new degrees in cancer biology, a major in entrepreneurship, and a PhD in neuroengineering. So you can see these are novel majors and degrees for a 21st century workforce. We continue national leadership in graduate education. You can see the many programs that are highly ranked among our peers. This year, our Master's in Health Administration moved to #1 in the nation. We've recently recruited some outstanding deans. We're so pleased to have a great leadership team at UAB. We have never had more alignment of our senior administration and our deans and other leaders than we have today. Dr. Andrew Butler, Dean of Health Professions. Dr. Cypre, Dean of Education. Dr. Irwin, Dean of Public Health. And Dr. Russell Teichman, new Dean of Dentistry. We continue to be a national leader in federal research funding. This past year, UAB ranked 8th among all public universities in NIH funding. And if you want to find somebody west of us who has as much NIH funding as we do, you've got to go all the way to San Diego. The only other one in the southeastern U.S. is the University of North Carolina, and they're celebrating their 230th anniversary. And north of us, you've got to go to Michigan or Pittsburgh to find someone. So we were proud of that. We ranked 20th among all universities. And you see our School of Medicine, our School of Public Health ranked very highly as well. Among all public universities in total federal funding, we ranked 15th. So we're proud of that. And this past year, we broke records in research awards and expenditures. And I can tell you we're going to break them again this year. Our School of Medicine is one of only 8 schools of medicine over the last 5 years to grow by $100 million in NIH funding or more. And you can see the rate of our growth was second only to Northwestern. And you see we're among some great company there. I want to thank Dr. Vickers and his team for their great leadership. You can see here a little history of 5-year epochs of research funding. This past 5 years, we broke $2.3 billion over those 5 years. We're going to break more than that in the years to come. We have world-class health care here at UAB, and I want to thank Dr. Fernani, Dr. Vickers, and the entire team at UAB Medicine. Our partner, Children's of Alabama, and our physicians at UAB saw over 1.7 million patients last year, saved more lives than ever. You can see our live donor kidney chain continues to grow, and it's the longest ever conducted in the history of medicine. We've done the 3rd most organ transplants of any health center in the world over the last 50 years. And we continue to position ourselves at the vanguard of precision medicine, which is the foundation of future healthcare. Under the leadership of Dr. Vickers and Dr. Bruce Korf, Dr. Matt Might, our Alabama Genomic Health Initiative continues to be an example of leadership. The legislature has supported us to sequence the genomes of 10,000 Alabamians from all 67 counties, and we're already almost at 4,000. The important thing is that will identify genes that put our citizens at risk for major serious diseases, and we will share that with their primary care physicians, their other doctors, along with genetic counseling to help them use that information to improve and prolong their lives. That program put us at a very advantaged position to compete to be one of the major organizing centers for the NIH's largest study ever of humans. It'll be 1 million Americans' genomes will be sequenced, and we are the coordinating center for the South. And we bring a diversity of people that no other region in the country can bring. We're very proud to be a part of this, and it's going to be the foundation of the future of understanding human disease. We continue to forge a robust technology and knowledge-based economy. Innovation Depot, our incubator downtown, has over 100 startup companies and over 1,000 employees that come to work there every day. A lot of those have come from UAB. We continue to work with others to foster an innovation coalition and to build an innovation district in downtown Birmingham. And our B.L. Harbert Institute for Innovation Entrepreneurship, led by Dr. Kathy Nugent, continues accelerating our commercialization efforts. Our faculty and students and staff innovate every day, every week throughout the year to solve the problems and challenges that we're facing. You can see here the commercialization efforts of our technology transfer group in FY18. You can see patents, intellectual property disclosures, faculty startups, student startups, Innovation Depot companies, and 37 licenses executed. Our economic impact has never been greater. A year or so ago, when we did the latest economic impact, it showed that UAB has over a $7 billion impact for the state of Alabama's economy. And if you look at Birmingham, you can see 1 in 4 residents in Birmingham are either employees, students, or patients. We have 6,600 plus employees who live in the 9 districts of Birmingham. And sometimes I'm asked, what is UAB doing for Birmingham? Well, you can see they have a total salary and income of over $264 million a year infused into the economy. Last year, we gave over $500 million worth of business to over 1,600 companies in and around Birmingham. So we're excited to be a leader and to be the largest employer in the state. And you can see that for the state of Alabama, every dollar that's invested, UAB generates 25 for the economy. Our engagement with our community has never been stronger than ever. Blazer Pulse is a new software platform that we're using to make it easier for our faculty, staff, and students to work with community leaders in and around Birmingham to help improve our environment. You can see our students who provided over 200,000 service hours last year on projects throughout Birmingham, our metropolitan area, and throughout the state of Alabama. The UAB Benevolent Fund is our employee giving fund that we invest in our community. Over $2 million raised has helped fund over 140 local nonprofits and employees in special need. Our Blazer Kitchen in FY18 served over 100,000 meals and provided over 3,500 volunteer hours to combat food insecurity. And our 5 Habitat houses, over the last 5 years, over 2,800 of our employees have helped build those and donate those to persons in the community in need. And as part of our 50th anniversary, we had 50 special acts of service this year to be at the leader of community service, which is our 4th mission pillar. We just completed last year the most ambitious philanthropic campaign in our history. Over 103,000 contributed over $1 billion. And we were fortunate to receive the largest gift ever given to the University of Alabama at Birmingham to support our O'Neill Comprehensive Cancer Center. This giving translated into 211 new endowed scholarships, which are scholarships endowed at $25,000 or more, and many of them much more. 106 new endowed chairs, professorships, and faculty scholars to recognize and to retain our outstanding faculty and to recruit the best talent to UAB and to Birmingham. And the growth of our endowment under the leadership of Tom Brannon, who's our VP for Advancement, has now grown to over $500 million. UAB could not be what it is today without the great support of so many people in our community, our government leaders at various stages, and our corporate and business community. We continue partnering with the BBA and our corporate partners to do great things like bring the new Birmingham Jefferson County Civic Center Stadium. It's going to be protective stadium. It'll be done by the summer of 2021, and it'll be the home of the UAB Blazer football team. The longtime advocacy of our local, state, and national elected officials has been key in our growth and development. UAB campus was comprised of 15 city blocks in 1969, and we now cover, as you know, well over 100 city blocks. And you can tell that a lot of progress is going on at UAB because any sector of this university you drive into, you're going to have traffic problems. And there's not enough parking, and we're growing and building new buildings. So those are all signs of great progress in being one of the most dynamic 21st century universities, not just in America, but the world. Today we want to thank and honor a public servant whose leadership has contributed tremendously to the expansion of our campus. Senator Jabbo Wagner is our senator in the state Senate. He is the longest serving legislator in the House and or Senate of anyone in the history of Alabama, over 40 years of service. And I want to share this with you to recognize him.
Some choices change the course of history. Some choices make it. Like the education of tens of thousands of people and becoming the top young university in the nation. It was a choice to act in the interest of the future that created these opportunities. Opportunities that made history.
At that time, we were still a young, emerging university, and we didn't have a great deal of resources, but we had big ideas and great plans. And this 1975 act that Senator Wagner supported doubled the size of UAB, added over 35 blocks. And it really was the foundation for future growth of our academic and clinical programs.
What this bill did, it appropriated $8.5 million out of the education budget in order to purchase the land.
Before the appropriation and before that project was completed, we had a footprint of about 15 blocks, and this 45-block expansion expanded campus to the current I-65 marker. So it was a huge expansion project.
And as we look back, it stands as one of the major milestones that allowed us to become the powerhouse university that we are.
If it had not been for that project, we might have remained closer to the 15-block campus that we were in 1969.
That laid the foundation for us now being over 100 blocks, largest employer in Alabama, and having a $7.15 billion economic impact for the state of Alabama.
And it's growing, and I shudder to think where we would be in Birmingham and where we would be in this region were it not for University of Alabama in Birmingham. The sky is the limit as far as the growth of UAB.
Sometimes we make a choice to support something bigger than us because we see the potential when no one else does. And sometimes that choice changes everything, and the rest is history.
What a great tribute to Senator Wagner. He's out of the country on an economic development mission, but we're so pleased to have today his wife, Marilyn, and his son, Mark, with us. Would you all stand and let us recognize you? Now these 100-plus blocks represent about 25% of downtown Birmingham. We have ongoing growth of our campus and of our facilities. Under the leadership of Greg Parsons and his team in facilities, and Alan Bolton and his team in administration and finance, we are transforming the UAB campus. We are one of the most sustainable, state-of-the-art, and modern urban campuses in the nation. And when we lost some prizes some years ago for not the most beautiful campus, we decided to change that. And now we're winning the prizes, both in sustainability and in beauty of our technology advanced facilities. I want to thank Julie Price and her team in UAB Sustainability, all of our students who volunteer there, and for all their work to make our campus both beautiful and sustainable. You can see here the new School of Nursing building and the Collat School of Business, both of which opened in September and August of 2018. We continue to grow and open University Hall, the home of many of our College of Arts and Sciences departments, in August of 2019. And you see on the right our new Information Technology Center, termed Technology Innovation Center, which broke ground in August and will be ready in about 12 plus months. That will be the home of all of our supercomputer and all of our internet capabilities. And it's right at the corner of 17th Avenue, 17th Street and 9th Avenue. We have invested over $400 million in our campus over the last 5+ years, and we will be investing similar to that over the coming 5 to 6 years as part of our really forward-looking campus master plan. You can see these new athletic facilities that we've opened also, which are transforming the western edge of our campus. The new track and field complex, which opened in December of 2018. Expansion of our BBVA campus soccer field, that is the home of not only UAB men's and women's soccer, but also the professional league, the Birmingham Legion. We also built new beach volleyball courts because we took away the site when we put the track and field in place, and now they have an even better facility on 6th Avenue South. And you can see a rendering of Protective Stadium, which broke ground in December of 2018. It's going to be one of the most modern, high-tech facilities in the country. It'll not only serve UAB Blazer football, but it'll serve Birmingham, Jefferson County, and the state of Alabama. We've had a new era of excellence in athletics. You can see here that we won our first conference championship, had the best record ever last year, and we're pleased to have the opportunity to participate in the Boca Raton Bowl and to win that bowl convincingly. Our women's track and field, Conference USA, one of our student athletes, won the 5,000 meter. And you can see the other accomplishments of our women's basketball team and our rifle team, which won the Southern Conference Championship this past year. We also are celebrating a new era in the arts, and we have realigned our arts programs to provide greater collaboration, synergy, and success. Under the leadership of Dr. Pam Benoit and Alan Bolton, we have created a new structure. The UAB Visual and Performing Arts are combined together and now led by the inaugural Executive Director, Lily Anderson. Our Abrams Engel Institute for the Visual Arts is a cutting-edge environment. Our Alice Stevens Center performs so many concerts throughout the year of world-class talent and our local talent, our own arts programs in art history is in the AVA. Our music and theater in Halsey Hall and the Alice Stevens Center is their venue. And the combination of art, play, community education, and UAB Institute for the Arts and Medicine, both of which serve our children and serve our patients and bring them the joy of the arts as they deal with challenging situations in the hospital, and it provides world-class education to our young people from all backgrounds. The UAB arts are on the move. I want to thank Dr. Pam Benoit also for helping lead our strategic plan. She is helping lead, along with Dr. Allison Chapman and Dr. Suzanne Judd, a review of our core curriculum for our undergraduates. We haven't changed it in over 3 decades, and today's world is very different than 3 decades ago. So we want to make sure that we're providing our undergraduates with a core of intellectual knowledge that will help them blaze the future. Also part of our Forging the Future strategic plan has been our grand challenge. We decided over a year ago, as part of this plan, that UAB should take on a major societal problem that challenges and faces our people here in the state of Alabama. But as we address these problems, we know that the lessons learned will help people around the country and around the world. So Dr. Chris Brown has led this, and the winner of this challenge, starting from about 70 initial applications and ideas, was a group led by Dr. Mona Fuad and Dr. Ed Partridge and Dr. Stephen Alstead and others. Dr. Fuad is not here today, and Chris is also out of town. We want to recognize them because the goal of this decade-long project is to move Alabama, our health indicators that show we have among the highest rates of diabetes, obesity, and heart disease in the country. This plan is to address that through education, through health education, access to better health care, through access to better nutrition and environments that promote physical activity. And their goal is to move us into the low 30s over this next decade. And we're starting right here in our backyard. Our UAB employees will be a part of this demonstration project, but we've chosen 2 neighborhoods in Eastlake and Woodlawn and 2 in the western sectors of the city, all of which are underserved. And we're going to use our people and brain power to help them change the future of their lives through health education. We're also going to use that opportunity to participate in helping our young people learn better reading skills. And we're going to change the built environment in those neighborhoods. The blight that has really burdened them for many years, we're going to begin to address that. And we're going to address street lighting and sidewalks and parks and community centers that allow them to change the future of their neighborhoods and the future of Birmingham. Our media teams, communications teams are telling our stories more effectively than ever. We've always had more than we can do at UAB, so we've never really had to advertise or promote ourselves. But now, as a global force, we know that we need to share the knowledge that we're discovering more effectively and the advances that we're making more effectively. And you can see that our team in FY18 helped us achieve over 60,000 important media hits, reaching over 1 billion people in all the best publications, not only in the country, but the world. We want to continue to propel the UAB brand. And Rosie O'Byrne and her team in digital strategy and marketing are working hard to help showcase our top young university ranking, promoting our 50th anniversary around campus. And you can see there our picture on the top is a great indication of the spirit of our staff and students and faculty in this 50th year. and the environmental branding. I hope you saw as you drove down University Boulevard and 14th Street, these new wonderful banners that our team have placed on all the streets around our campus. And we have a new branding video that conveys the pursuit of discovery that drives UAB's success, past, particularly present, and importantly, future.
Discovery doesn't tell you to wait your turn. It happens here and now. Discovery is for the pioneers and the persistent, those who are driven to find out what's next, what if, and why not now? Choosing to discover is choosing to be bold, because discovery stands up and challenges everything. It answers questions that haven't even been asked yet. Discovery takes the courage to take us forward and believes the answers belong to us all. Discovery breaks the silence, then breaks new ground. It builds, creates, beyond what we could do alone. So discover a new way. Discover the cure. Discover your voice. Discover what's next.
I want to thank our Chief Communications Officer, Ann Buckley, Jim Backen, their team, Tucker Dillard, Rosie O'Byrne and her team, for helping us tell our stories more effectively than ever. Again, I want to thank the great people of UAB, and as I've said often, UAB is great because of our people, not because of our world-class facilities. And each and every one of you, I'm pleased you're here today to share with us. And whatever you do at this institution or whatever you do in support of this institution, I want to thank you for it. And it takes each and every one of us to do the great work, the mission-focused work that we do at UAB each and every day. So thank you for your attention.
Earlier, we passed out some index cards. If you had a question, want to pass those along to the side, that'd be great. We'll be happy to take those. There's Ann Buckley right over there on the other side with another microphone if she's easier to reach for you. Any questions?
I don't have an index card. Do I need one? Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Watts, for a very interesting presentation. My name is Pam Murray. I'm in the history department in the College of Arts and Sciences, and the growth and the achievements are really impressive as you've outlined them for us. So I hate to be a little bit of a stick in the mud, but we just learned yesterday that over 13,000 square feet is going to be taken out of Stern Library. So my question to you is, how is this going to promote research, particularly in the humanities and social sciences, and education, particularly in the humanities and social sciences? Stern Library has always been kind of the center for us who teach and research in those disciplines. And the library has always been very important to us, particularly those of us who are in disciplines that rely on books, and students who need space to study. So the space is now going to be taken away, and I'm wondering, what are the plans?
I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to as the space being taken away, but let me just say that over the last 3 to 5 years, we've invested more in our libraries than ever before. And we know that books are important, but access to electronic information is also very important. We've invested in both. We've also invested in our libraries being a great place for our students to congregate and study, and our faculty. We moved our Into International program into the second floor of Stern, and as someone asked me yesterday, I think it was Rhea and I were talking about it, Stern Library has been transformed into a much more modern and inviting facility than we've ever had before. The third floor of Stern Library is very, very underutilized. And I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. And Pam, I don't know if you want to address that so that everyone understands it, but we are investing $500,000 a year in our libraries. Pam?
So thank you for the question. What we're doing right now is exploring the possibility of using some library space for facilities that are currently in the education building that will be torn down. So this includes the Center for Teaching and Learning, it includes Education Abroad, it includes VMAS, those kinds of facilities. That obviously needs to be in a central location. And so one of the things we're looking at is the utilization of various spaces in the library, other possible central locations where we might place those kind of facilities, because as that building comes down, we want to make sure that a lot of those student and faculty services that are critically important are also going to be available in a central location. So we put together a small working group to look at what the possibilities are, to look at whether or not we can fit into various spaces in order to accommodate that need as well. This is in no way to diminish the importance of the library. It's actually to increase and enhance the student traffic and the faculty traffic into the library. Thank you.
Let me ask you, where is the Department of History located now?
We're in Heritage Hall. I'd like to make one more point, though, Dr. Watts. You said that we've invested a lot in UAB libraries. I would like to just remind you, though, that UAB Libraries was placed on probation about 3 years ago by the Regional Consortium of Research Libraries, of which UAB is a member. Some 36 institutions, including Duke, Emory, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, institutions with which we compare ourselves. We belong to this group, and we are at the bottom. Or we were at the bottom as of the last time some of us faculty tried to bring this matter to the attention of you and Dr. Benoit. So my question to you is, how is this reallocation of space going to remedy that problem?
Let me say this. You don't have to tell me that our library was put on probation 3 years ago. And what that indicated was that enough had not been invested proactively in our libraries. But our libraries are a key resource, and that's why we are investing more than we ever have. Whatever academic support space for our students goes into Stern Library will no way hurt the activity of our libraries. It will enhance them. So I appreciate your comments. You're in Heritage Hall. And how many of our departments moved into University Hall that we just opened in August, Bob? 6? They were in the humanities buildings and other areas. The reason we're going to take the education building down is because we're going to build a new science and engineering complex there over the next 4 to 6 years. And we're going to renovate, and we are beginning that, the business side of the business engineering complex for a new home for our School of Education so that they have a new home. There is no part of this campus and that hasn't been invested in, and we continue to invest more. Yes, you have a question?
Greg Pence, Philosophy. I did a little experiment this week that kind of shocked me. I'm teaching a class of about 15 undergraduates in intermediate bioethics, and I asked them, each of them, how much debt they're carrying. And I was shocked. I'd say 2/3 of the people in the class have between $10,000 and $50,000 in debt, and they're just sophomores and juniors. And I don't think they really understand, you know, when 9 months after they graduate, the payment and how it's never going to go away. And I wonder if we're doing anything to help our students manage the debt or understand it. It scares me what's going on.
Well, our students, as part of their freshman experience and throughout their undergraduate education, are being led with financial literacy education so that they understand the value of their dollars and their degree. There's an inverse correlation between poverty and education, and we are providing a world-class education for the young people of Alabama and the young people of the city. Our tuition for an in-state student is around $10,000. That's one of the biggest bargains in America. We, this past year, allocated more resources for student scholarships than ever. You can see as part of our philanthropic campaign, we had a strong goal to have more endowed scholarships. We've had a program with our alumni this past year that for every dollar they invest in scholarships, we will match it as an institution. And we will actually provide the direct dollars that would benefit from a $25,000 or more scholarship right away, not having to wait 5 years, for example, to build that. So there's no more important initiative for our undergraduates than to increase our financial support. Our students are about 80% in state. That's not an accident. It's not an accident that over 20% of our undergraduate population are first in their families to get an education. So we want to help them in every way. For example, Blazer Kitchen and our food pantry and the university, the student center, were created about 5 years ago when we learned that some of our students have food insecurity. And when our benevolent fund said some of our employees and some of our patients and their families who are here for prolonged periods don't have access to enough food. And we said, we're not going to have that at UAB. And we created that Blazer Kitchen, and we created the food pantry in the Hill Center so that none of our people have food insecurity. We also have scholarships and stipends for room and board in our residence halls. You can see our new 2020 residence hall on 10th Avenue, over 730 beds, a new 300-seat dining facility indoors, and capacity for more than that outdoors. It's going to provide a great home for our freshmen and sophomores. And we know that if they live on campus and experience the campus activity, they can be much more effective. So we want to provide all the support that we can. Also, student work study is very important, and we support that more and more. And those activities are activities in which, yes, they do some work, but they also have the opportunity to study and prepare and be on campus instead of somewhere else. So I appreciate that, and it's why we're going to allocate more resources than ever in the coming year. We also are going to participate with the city of Birmingham in the Birmingham Promise Scholarship Program. We're going to partner with them to provide scholarships to graduates of Birmingham City Schools. So I appreciate your comment. We want to minimize debt for our students. And we want to give them, though, a world-class education that's going to help them be leaders, not just locally, not just in this region, not just nationally, but globally. And we're doing that. Any other questions or comments? Okay, sure.
Thank you. In the spare time, I'm getting a bunch of questions in, but we'll just limit it to one in the spare time. This is an anonymous question that was texted. Currently, employees who are attending classes are limited to taking only 12 credit hours per year. Are there any plans to increase that limit?
That's a courtesy scholarship for our employees, up to 12 hours a year. I don't know. You know, we haven't really had that question asked. Most employees who are working hard can't take more than 12 hours a year. But it's hard to be a full-time employee at UAB and be a full-time student at the same time. They're both challenging. Actually, our benefits for our employees are among the most robust, not just locally or statewide, but nationally. And we want our employees to have every opportunity to grow and advance. That's why we have those courtesy scholarships. And many of our employees get master's degrees and sometimes undergrad or complete their undergraduate degrees with these courtesy scholarships. So we want to continue to invest in the future of our employees, and we want our employees to be excited and fired up to come to work every day. I know that I am, and I want us to continue to excel. Sometimes, when we set goals and we reach those goals, we don't stop. When we raised $1 billion, I told Tom Brown and his team, you got the night off. We're going to start back tomorrow getting after it and even break those. Now, I'm not joking. And, when we broke $560 million worth of research expenditures last year, I asked Chris Brown, when are we going to break 600? And guess what? We're going to break 600 this year. I was hoping in 2 years. But now we're going to set that goal higher. And our student body is the largest ever. And we're not growing it just to grow it. We're growing it to give young people an opportunity to be leaders in the future. And we are serious about it. Our healthcare enterprise, if you're sick in the state of Alabama, doesn't matter your station in life. You come here, we're going to do everything we can to save you. And we usually do. And everybody who knows they're in a desperate situation, they know that they can come here and receive world-class care. Mayor Woodfin often says, as goes Birmingham, or as goes UAB, goes Birmingham. And he and I and his administration and our employees work like this together to do all that we can to fight poverty and to improve the quality of life of those that live in Birmingham. And we're going to continue to have a bigger economic impact because we know it's so important. So thank you, each and every one, for all that you do. Thank you for being here today. We're adjourned. Ed, thanks for